I would like to share some information about the college in brief for the speaker. MNR College of Pharmacy is running under the aegis of MNR Educational Trust. It is established in 2004 and having the well infrastructure where we can conduct the regular laboratories, as well as the we can have multiple colleges in the campus. In MNR College of Pharmacy, we are having well-equipped laboratories. Along with that, the library is there with 11,000 books, the book title. This we are taking extra efforts for the curriculum development of the students by providing them the different counseling for the higher education, for the personality development, and many more other initiatives will be taken for their overall grooming. We are working under the leadership of our principal sir, Dr. V.L. Garasamy, who is recently awarded as a top.
Sorry for the technical glitch. I'm suffering with some network, I'm just facing some network issues. Sorry for the technical glitch. So today we are here to celebrate.
Madam, you have muted, it seems. Dr. Saravanan. Dr. Saravanan. Visakha madam.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. Now.
Okay, sir. Sorry. I'm really, it's apologies from my side for the technical glitch. So today's International Women's Day, we are celebrating in a campus of MNR College of Pharmacy with the theme of gender equality, stop the gender bias. And for this theme, we invited a speaker from Bayer India, Mrs. Martina Gomes, who is going to deliver a speech today, and with the theme, Me and My Career Journey. So before moving towards the webinar, I would like to request Principal Dr. V.L. Garasamy sir to give a welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Visakha. So on behalf of the MNR Educational Trust, Chairman Sri M.N. Rajgaru and our Vice Chairman Sri Ravi Verma Garu and all faculty members and students, we welcome the today's speaker, and I also welcome all the faculty members and the most successful women in this forum and all the students who are gathered here. So let's all listen from one of the successful that is woman, Mrs. Martina Gomes. we have invited her to share her journey in this period, so that it will be one of the inspiration for coming students or coming pharmacists. So with the aim of having motivational speech, we have invited Mrs. Martina Gomes. He happily accepted the invitation. Thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation. And we are all eager to listen from you, so that these things will be taken into consideration. So our students also will be a successful pharmacist in the coming days. So with these few words, again, I welcome all to this World's Women's Day celebration on the theme of gender equality today. That is, today if we do the gender equality, so we'll have a sustainable tomorrow. This sustainability is meant for the world, that is globe sustainability or globe sustainable energy, like that many things we say. But one thing, if we are happy at home, so definitely the world will be happy. If the woman at home is happy, definitely we'll have the sustainable tomorrow. So with this aim only, this that is present the top theme of today's International Women Day journey, the Women Day celebration has been coined. So I think really we should accept the theme, and we should understand, and in the coming days we should give that the topic in importance, and let's all respect the woman. And definitely, if our home is happy, our world will be happy, and we'll have a sustainable tomorrow. So with these few words, I welcome Mrs. Martina Gomes to this occasion, and I request Dr. Visakha about the present today's speaker. Dr. Visakha, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So we are very fortunate to have Mrs. Martina Gomes with her. She is a head regulatory affairs by India. It's my privilege to introduce such a successful lady on occasion of International Women's Day. So I will just brief about Madam's achievements, because Madam achievement is too huge. So it's very difficult for me to compile within 2 minutes, but I would try to compile it. She has completed his graduation and post-graduation from Sophia College, Mumbai, and completed PG Diploma in Clinical Research from Bombay College of Pharmacy. She started her professional career from Pfizer in regulatory department. From 2007 to 2013, she worked in Pfizer at different positions, from regulatory officers to associate regulatory strategy operations. Then from 2013, she moved on 2013 to Sanfoy India Limited. She worked there as an associate manager, regulatory affairs, and she holded many positions like there. And in 2017, she became head regulatory affairs CHC South Asia zone. From July 2020, she is working with Bayer India as a head regulatory affairs. She is having multiple responsibilities. I would like to just enumerate few. She's a member of Consumer Health APAC Region Regulatory Limited. She is responsible for establishment, leading development, and direct the regulatory functions of the cluster to ensure consumer centricity, innovation, regulatory excellence, and governance in complex and changing regulatory environment. She is responsible for providing management support to India business leadership team and to sub-regional business initiatives. Then management of governmental interactions, led efforts to shape the consumer health regulatory environment in India, develops consumer health relationships with external policy stakeholders, supporting consumer health policy positions, and many more responsibilities she is holding. She is, again, importantly, she is responsible to get the approval from the FDAs and the Drug Control General of India, then develop their relationship with external consultants for getting over-the-counter approvals for new products from DCGI. So there are a number of responsibilities she is holding. These are the important, which we can understand basically. Being a B.Pharm students, which our B.Pharm family students, they can understand these basic responsibilities, and they can understand the work profile of ma'am. Other than this regular work, she is having certain achievements. She is appointed as a board of studies at Sophia College. She is a recipient of Top Performer Award in Bayer in December 20. Then she is promoted. She won the Medical Vision 2020 Award, silver medal during the medical offsite. And there are many more achievements from her starting of the careers. These are the recent achievements what she achieved. So with this brief introduction, I would like to welcome Sophia ma'am, Martina Gomes ma'am, for the webinar, and I would like to request to start her journey, to share her journey with our students. Martina ma'am, please take the charge of the session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vishakha ma'am, and Professor Aligar Swami, for your humble words. Yeah, I'm really indeed glad to be a part of this. Vishakha ma'am, just a logistic check. How much time do I have in hand? Sorry, you are on mute.
Madam, around 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I should be ideally done by around 11:05 or so.
Followed by that, we'll have some interaction with our students.
Question answers, no
Yes,
problem. I would look forward to have more time there. So let me try to finish by 11 dot. In case if you feel that I need to hurry up with my session, please do indicate so. Yeah. Okay, could we just go on slide show mode? Yeah, perfect. So should I begin then?
Okay, madam, you can start.
Yeah, I would request everybody else, including the students, to please go on mute, just to avoid any disturbances. In case if there are any questions, please, as and when you all think about it, please put it in your in the chat window, and I ensure you that all would be addressed towards the end of my session. Yeah. So beginning with, I would like to hello everyone. So as I have said, sir, in my response to the invitation, and I reiterate the same thing again, that I'm highly privileged to be a part of this event today. So my humble regards to the senior management, the teaching faculty out here, for the students here as well. You know, I can't express my happiness in connecting with the students here, who are basically the generation Z that we call, or the Zoomers in today's world. At the outset, I would like to wish all the women out here a very happy International Women's Day. Though I'll take you through my personal and my professional journey, I would try to link it up on our topic as well, on gender equality at different various instances. And you can then see that a journey is not just a professional journey or a personal journey. There are various interfaces as well, and wherein you keep learning different types of values. And you know, that's what is more important than your professional success or the money at the end of the day that you get in your job. As I mentioned at the end of my session, do feel free to pose in your questions, and I'll be definitely happy to address them. Can we move on to the next slide? Okay, so that's about who I am. To begin with, on the professional front, I am a 14.2-year-old regulatory professional working in pharmaceuticals, and Vishakha ma'am has already taken you through my career journey in a snapshot. When I say 14.2-year-old, it means, I mean, that 0.2 is also important. 2 months is also important, especially the latest one, because for that matter, every day counts, because you get to learn too many other different things, and every thing gives you a rich experience by itself. So on a personal front, I'm married to a banker. My husband's name is Sunil, and I'm blessed with 2 kids, Juan and Jace. I love learning newer things and experiencing different adventures. Like you would see at the bottom left here, that's the canvas painting which I drew for the first time last year around lockdown, and I must say the experience was amazing. Besides that, I'm a nature admirer. I love to watch different types of birds, flowers, love to travel, explore newer things, and to stay close to nature. My family is also fond of different types of music, including me. And thanks to the lockdown, all 4 of us, like my husband, me, and two of my kids, we are now taking classes with different musical instruments. So for me, it's the keyboard that I'm trying to learn for the last few months. You know, this is something that I had wanted to do right from the beginning of my when I was a child, but somehow never got the chance to learn so. And the lockdown gave us the time to literally, you know, come together as a family. And then we thought, how can we spend more time together? So we indulged into music learning. So we are still learning, but you know, that entire experience is also quite enriching. So that's about me, the current version of myself. However, to explain you my journey, more so professional, because that is what you would be more interested in, I would like to take you through to the past. So can we then move to the next slide, please? The next slide. Yeah, perfect. So I was born around in the 80s, early 80s, which makes me a Generation Y or millennials that you would call these days. I was born in a middle class family. My father was an officer in ACC Cement. My mother was a teacher with the Bombay Municipal Corporation. Since childhood, I was a lot interested in studies, and it also had to do with my parents wanting me and my younger brother to get the best of education and to learn with keen interest. So with me, I was basically a very curious child, wanting to explore the universe, had a lot of questions on everything, like most of us do, you know. But apart from that, me and my brother, we had also seen how my mother used to strive to teach her students. So when I said she was a teacher with the BMC school, so the Bombay Municipal Corporation School, so these are the students from lower strata of the society. You know, even if the children are keen to take up their studies, their financial conditions was something that used to restrict them from attending schools most of the days. Because these schools are those who are mostly working as child laborers in nearby factories, on the roads are selling flowers, plastic bags, etc. So, you know, I always remember that my mother used to come home from school, and she used to be very sad that, you know, very few students attended her classes, and how she, along with the other teachers, had decided to go to the slum areas nearby and talk to their parents, their families, and try to make them understand why education is important, why literacy is important, and, you know, to get those students back to school. Sometimes they were successful, sometimes they were not. For the kids' sake, you know, once my mother was at home, she, along with my dad, they used to kind of make big charts and machine models, you know, which she used to take back to the school and try to teach the students, so that she used to put the charts on the classroom, so that whenever the kids are in the class, you know, they are fully attentive. They know they can make the most use of that time. You know, and the machine models used to help them understand as to how does a machine work, how does a dam work, all of it, you know. So that was an extra thing that she used to do. But, you know, that only showed her passion towards teaching or towards her profession, and you know, her wish to bring out those students from the illiteracy world back into the literacy world. So I remember me and my brother, we used to stay awake many days and try to help our parents in preparing the charts or doing the models. So, you know, so hence right from childhood, a few things were very clear to us. So the first thing was that education is not to be taken for granted. It is a privilege. So if you have it, you be thankful to God, you be thankful to your family, and you know, just grab it, just make the most use of it. So with that, so in such an environment I grew. So but naturally I was taking my education very seriously, okay, and not just playing around. So seeing all of this, as I mentioned, I have grown. So then I passed my 10th standard. I knew for sure that I wanted to take up science, because that was my likelihood. I used to love reading science. experiments, biology, etc. And I scored good marks in PCB, which is the physics, chemistry, and biology. I was around that time very keen on learning pharmacy, So around that time, so this is the time around 2000, around early 2000s. So around that time, the pharmacy admissions were through a central process, and there used to be rounds. And depending upon your preferences and your marks that you get, you decide which college do you want to get into. So unfortunately, around that year, the entire process was delayed by at least around 4 months. So our HSC results were out in June, but the process of pharmacy admissions had not begun until October. So just to be on a safer side, I thought it's best to take admission. So I secured admission for microbiology, chemistry, and zoology for a Bachelor of Science degree in one of the good colleges in Mumbai. So our college had begun from July, and I was attending the theory as well as practicals. So basically, I had chosen a triple subject. For the final year, the subjects had to be, so that is the third year, the subjects were to be a double major of microbiology and biochemistry. But though I was studying, I knew that that's just my backup. My main motive was to pursue pharmacy, and I was very keen around it. But unfortunately, what happened is my first semester exams began in my undergraduate college. And around that time, I missed checking up upon the round dates for the pharmacy admissions because I was so engrossed in my studies, and later on, I got to know through my friend that, I had got an admission into a good college in Mumbai itself for pharmacy and as a free seat. But because I wasn't available for the round, I was busy giving my undergraduate first semester exam. I had lost that seat, and my first paper was just over and I had gone home. I was feeling very happy that the paper was good. And my friend came over and telling me that so-and-so happened. So I felt very sad. I felt as if the world had collapsed. My career had collapsed. I mean, I felt that, oh God, what am I going to do now? All this while I wanted to get into pharmacy, but I have just missed the round. I mean, I didn't know about the round. So I just couldn't concentrate on my studies for the second paper. Luckily, the second paper, before the second paper, there were 2 days holidays. So, I had the time to kind of firm myself, get back to life and start studying. But then when I told about this to my parents, they were like, let's do whatever we can. So we quickly, it was a Saturday, but we quickly went to the pharmacy center and tried to check with them that, look, we were not available for the round, but is there any scope that could we get any seats? So what they mentioned is because you were not available for the round, the seat was but naturally passed on to the other candidates. And now most of the, so for that matter, all the seats in Mumbai colleges are exhausted. The only seat that you will get is in Pune. So Pune is a city which is located outside of Mumbai with almost a 3.5 hour of a road travel. However, that seat was a paid seat. My parents were ready to accept that seat for my sake, but I wasn't comfortable in taking that because I knew that, I was getting a free seat here in Mumbai. Now, because I had missed that opportunity, I'll have to go all the way to Pune, stay there for 4 years away from my family. I was still okay to do that. But it was a paid seat. I had to take care of the hostel accommodation, plus the food mess, all of it. So I thought it is quite a lot of money involved here. And I somewhere didn't want that burden to pass it on to my family, and hence I thought, what should I do? I have lost the pharmacy thing. Here I have microbiology, biochemistry, but is there a scope for it? So in that one day, on that Saturday, half of the Saturday I spent in checking. So I called back my professors who were like my microbiology, biochem professors. I called them up. They connected me to a lot of seniors. I called them up just to check what is the scope of microbiology in Mumbai, outside Mumbai. And I got to know that, there is scope. I mean, the world is not over. Even if I could not get into pharmacy, there is something that I already have in my hand, which is also interesting. And I can make a career out of it as well. So there I was. In the evening, on Saturday evening, I decided that fine, I'm just going to forget about pharmacy and concentrate on my microbiology and the semester exam that I had in hand. So on Monday, there was a paper. Saturday evening onwards, I started preparing for it, and my entire semester exams went well. So I took a decision to stick with BSc, and I owned my decision. I mean, I told my parents that I'm happy with microbiology. Let me continue with my studies. All my paper went well. I then got into the honors program, which is an additional kind of program that you do along with your studies. It involves some hours of social work, some additional projects, some assignments, some public surveys. So all of it together. Of course, it was way and above our curriculum, but it also fetched us some kind of a certificate or some accolades. I completed my graduation with first class in microbiology and biochemistry, the double major. And after that, I decided to pursue my post-graduation. I had two options, whether to go ahead with microbiology or biochemistry. I selected to go ahead with microbiology. I got admission in the same Sapphire College through a central procedure. And for 2 years, then I had to do MSc, which is the Masters of Science. Now, it was quite a challenging time, but at the same time, it was quite fun as well. I would say challenging because in MSc, we were left on our own. There were 7 students. Our batch had consisted of 7 students. And what we had to do is prepare notes of our own. The practicals setup was all to be done by us, the experiments, the media preparation, the washing of the dishes, the plates. For those who know microbiology would know there is a lot of media preparation and a cleaning stuff that has to be done, but it was all fun, it empowered us. And self-study is something that I surely learned from my MSc. It gave us a chance to connect with our seniors, with our professors, as well as our guides for our dissertation projects that we had. They also helped us in guiding for our experiments, though it was meant to be like a self-study, but they definitely helped us in guiding us as to which experiment could be done when, depending upon what's the incubation period, etc. Our seniors also helped us a lot in terms of the notes that they had. I'm still in connection with my professors, with my seniors and my peers as well. We still meet together. We arrange for alumni meets whenever we have the time over a weekend, wherein we guide our juniors about the studies and the scope in the industry. As Vishakha ma'am has already spoken, I'm also on the board of the studies for Sapphire College. And we, along with the other members on the board, we decide as to what should be the syllabus for the college, what is relevant, what is the most important in today's life, because there's so much happening around you. It's important for the students of today to know, the latest things, because they can correlate it much better than something which has happened like 20, 30 years back. And, we know that it's just important to know for information's sake, but in practicality purpose, it's not going to happen again. So I've gained so much from the college that, I felt this is my little bit that I should give back as a gratitude. So I post-graduated around 2006. After my post-graduation, there was a point that I was hearing about clinical research. So for those who don't know what clinical research is all about, so basically it's a research which is done on humans, patients which are called as volunteers or subjects, who before launching any particular medicine have to be tested upon. So the medicine has to be tested upon humans, just to check whether the safety and the efficacy of the product is fine. So it's basically, it seems to be just a snapshot, but The entire module, if you see of clinical research, it goes into phases 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an elaborate one. And I'm sure that it must be at some point in time a part of your curriculum, or very important a part of your curriculum, because you guys are more close towards drugs and medicines, and how is it made, the mode of action, etc. So I spoke about it to my parents, that this is something which is coming up. The clinical research field is something that is coming up, and there is a post-graduation course that has been that I have identified, and it's a good course for almost a year or so, and I would be keen on taking it up. So what should I do? My parents were very happy supporting me in my decision, and hence I enrolled for the course in one of the colleges here in Mumbai. Once I remember, and I feel that I need to share this experience with you, that me and my mother were traveling somewhere, and one of my relatives happened to ask me that, where are you working? So I said, I'm sorry, I'm still learning, 1 year of more learning. So she was like, what, you are still learning? Then when are you going to get married? So I was pretty much surprised by that. I did not say anything, but around that time, my mother supported me, saying that, let her study as much as she can. Marriage can wait, So from this, I have a sincere request to all of the students out here that please let your family know, or let your parents know about your aspirations. So then they can find out their way to support you. They are aware that, okay, fine, my child is interested in learning or in taking up a particular degree or a particular course. So they are well prepared that this much is the time that I need to give to my children. This much could be the money that I would require. So do always talk about your future aspirations, your interests, so that they could work it out for you, or they could support to work it out for you. Okay, should we go to the next slide? So that was all about my studies. Now the beginning of my career. So while I was doing clinical research, we had campus interviews from different various companies, and Pfizer was one of the company who came in for the campus interview. Luckily, I got selected there to work as a regulatory officer. So I joined Pfizer around December 2007. Now, for those who do not know what regulatory affairs is, though Vishakha madam has taken you through it, a quick recap maybe. So basically, regulatory affairs is to deal with the regulatory matters of medicines, right from the research phase. So from the preclinicals, the studies which are done in animals, right from there, the clinical phase, wherein you get the data about whether a particular medicine is safe, is efficacious or not. So if you realize that there are too many adverse events coming out from a particular product, then you discuss with your management and you shelve the product right away. But if you realize that the product is very good, you have lesser side effects, the product has a very good efficacy towards a particular disease or a symptom, then it's worthwhile taking your proposal to the regulators. Okay, so for that you need to prepare a product dossier. So the product dossier has a lot of product information in it as to why is the product to be used, when it's to be used, the product dosage, the composition, the indications, the contraindications, etc. So you submit the entire dossier to the Drug Controller General of India, who you guys would be aware is our prime regulator, who decides whether the product should be approved or not. The entire DCGI office, that falls under the ambit of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So to seek an approval, you have to be present face-to-face for a face-to-face interview. It's along with the regulators, and they do call some government medical experts as well, who understand the physiology and the mode of action of the product. Then if your product is satisfactory, then you of course get an approval to your product. Now, once you have received an approval, then you think about launching the product. So for launching the product, what you need is the labels, the contraindications. So basically you need to firm the product label, what goes into the market. So for that, the information that is required is label, contraindications, indications, storage conditions, the warnings in case if there are any. So all of this is decided and finalized by the regulatory team. Now, when the product is ready for launch, what are you going to convey to the consumers when you are advertising your product to the consumers? So all the claims, when your product is to be taken, when not to be taken, so all of that is also finalized by the regulatory team. On the other hand, if your product is a prescription product, so if you are detailing it to the doctor, so when should the doctor prescribe it? What will you detail to the doctor? All of that is also decided by the regulatory team. So in a nutshell, it's basically, this is what a regulatory professional in a pharmaceutical company does. Now coming back to my job in Pfizer. So while I was working in Pfizer, thanks to my manager, our manager was a person who believed that, irrespective of being a male or a female candidate, everybody should get a fair chance of knowing every field in the regulatory arena. So whether it was handling local manufactured products, imported products, animal healthcare, cosmetic products, clinical research aspect, he saw to it that everybody in his team got a fair chance. So we were put on a rotational basis. So 6 months, I learned something. Then I move on to other area of regulatory and I learned something else. So it's like a hands-on experience on different aspects of regulatory affairs. Thanks to him, my scope had really widened. And in my initial 6 years, I knew a lot of regulations. While I was in Pfizer around 2009, I got married to Sunil, who is a banker, and I must say my biggest support. 2 years later, around 2011, I delivered my first baby, Juan. Around the end of 2011, due to a particular condition, my elder son was critically ill, and he was admitted. I was just back from my maternity leave then, but then my manager saw to it that I get enough time to spend with my son. Later on, once we were back from the hospital, he specifically tried to grant a work from home, which wasn't common around those days, But my manager worked it out with full support from my HR colleagues. Even on a medical from a medical perspective, he and our medical team tried to explain the condition to me, and how should we overcome it, to try to give me contacts of doctors, etc. So that was something that I'll be forever grateful for. I'm still in contact with all of those and even more. I used to be a mentee with my manager. So my manager was my mentor. He still is, and he still guides me in terms of wherever I get stuck in terms of in professional life. He still guides me wherever possible. Around 2013, there came an opportunity from Sanofi in consumer healthcare. So this was something that I had learned in a short span in Pfizer. So it was like a crash course that I had learned handling consumer healthcare products. But in Sanofi, they had a dedicated role which had opened up. And I thought, this could be my new phase of career. So I thought of taking up that opportunity. And I did so. In September 2013, I moved to Sanofi. That was definitely a new phase of my career because, I learned about leadership, about taking accountability, being empowered to build up a team. From a mentee, I then became a mentor to my own team. So that was really a different phase of my life altogether. That was also the same time that I delivered my second baby, Jace, around in 2015. And soon after my baby was born, there was a massive restructuring that happened in Sanofi, which got me a higher role, and but because of which I had to travel. So my travel drastically increased. We had international meetings once in 3 months, once in local meetings as well in different zones in India. So because of it, and my child was just around 10 months old or so. So I also had, so while I was enjoying the meetings, enjoying my position in Sanofi around that time, I also somewhere had a guilt within me that, I could not give the entire time to my child, which he deserved. Maybe at a 10-year-old, 10 months old or a 1-year-old child definitely deserves to be around his mother. But my husband was the one and my parents who stood by me around that time. So right from feeding to putting my son to sleep, my husband had happily done it all, and, that's called partnership. I still keep telling everyone that, that's called partnership, which is very important in today's life. In most of the cases, when the parents are working, when both of your parents are working, you understand each other. Like, if I am late, my husband takes pride in doing the household chores. And I have also seen that happening with my parents as well. So when my mother used to be busy, my dad used to take care of the household chores, including the cooking as well. And around that time, I also, learned a lesson, and which I had learned from watching Indira Nooyi, who was the ex-CEO of the PepsiCo company. So once, when during her interview, I had the one that I had seen, she was asked a question as to how do you maintain a work and your personal life balance. To which she said that there's no such a thing of a work and a personal life balance. You can't be perfect at both the sides. You have to compromise on some or the other to some level, because you are just one. You can't be at home and can't be at office at the same time. So see to it that wherever you are, you don't completely neglect the other part. You work around it so that the other part also gets taken care of, not as much as you would have thought, but to a lot extent. So, that was one learning that I had. And so I kind of let go. I saw to it that whenever, in case due to a lot of meeting, I was getting late to go back home, then I saw to it that on the 3rd or the 4th day, I leave early from office to be at home. I used to shuffle my meetings in such a way that, I am at home, I take care of my son, and maybe in the evening again, I go back to my meetings. So that was something that I consciously tried doing, so that I try to balance it out as much as possible. Then around 2018, in most of the companies, including Sanofi, there came a culture of work from home. So once in a week, you could work from home. And I saw to it that most of the times I availed this facility, because it let me to be around my son, or at least oversight him when I'm at home, and also save a lot of my travel time, which was almost around those days, it was 3.5 hours of a daily travel time. So you all would know, due to traffic, and Mumbai is anyways famous for traffic. So that saved me a lot of time and a lot deal. It was around in Sanofi that I also learned about inclusion and diversity from our top management, because there was a lot of focus given on these two aspects, so that we just otherwise keep talking about diversity, but if you actually see, inclusion is the crux of all. And what does inclusion really mean? So just allow me to read out the definition. So inclusion is an organizational effort and practices in which different groups or individuals having different backgrounds are culturally and socially accepted and welcomed. So that's what is inclusion all about. So from an organizational front, You know that many companies worldwide are looking to imbibe this kind of a culture of inclusion and diversity in their teams. So what inclusion is all about? So if you have a team of 10 members, are all of your members men or are there women as well? If a person comes in for an interview and has the highest capability, which is required for a particular job, but unfortunately the person is physically handicapped, then are you inclusive enough to consider him for the role? Or you still would want a person who is physically active? Even from a leadership standpoint, if you are sitting in a meeting, are you inclusive enough to hear the thoughts from every team member, whoever is present at their meeting? Or you just want to listen to your favorites, or be biased with your favorites? So all of these things were to be considered, and I learned a lot of this deal while working in Sanofi, and I also saw to it that I practice it on a day-to-day basis. So after spending almost 7 years in Sanofi, I then decided to move to another company, which is Bayer, where I'm currently seated in. May I have the next slide now? Sorry, the Bayer slide. Yes, okay. So this was my next step in my career, wherein Bayer was launching their consumer healthcare division and had wanted a regulatory person to take care of their regulatory aspects. And this was the time that I thought, let me make a next move. I was asked by many that, you are settled in Sanofi, why do you want to risk? Because though Bayer is a big global organization, Bayer Consumer Healthcare was still a startup, of course, under the bigger umbrella. But you never know whether it works, it doesn't work. Do you still want to take a risk? I said it's a risk worth taking because, I had enjoyed that entire experience of building up a team in Sanofi. And I get to do the same thing again here in Bayer. So I was like, why not? So I decided to take a jump. So in July 2020, I moved into Bayer. It's been almost a year and 8 months now. But we have learned a lot, because the entire team, for that matter, here was found or was formed virtually around the lockdown time. So we had just worked virtually with each other, spoken virtually with each other. It was only after 1.5 years that we actually get to meet each other. But despite of that, we had a lot of collaboration, which of course showed in our business results as well. Then we learned a lot of values around this time as well. It could be somewhere around trust, because we had to show the trust that despite of working virtually, you have the trust in your team members that yes, they are spending time on work, despite of being at home. Efficiency, flexibility. So it was all of these values we actually lived, and hence we learned a lot through it. It was here in Bayer that I was offered to be the inclusion and diversity ambassador, and which was obviously over and above my job. Again, this was something which was very close to my heart. Being a woman, I would want to see as much as women out there to gain pride in what they are actually doing in their career, in their organization, and to be confident enough to handle both their household as well as their office work at their own pace, So now as an inclusion and diversity ambassador, what we do is we arrange events and meetings, trying to understand through different groups all across the globe as to what is it that we need improvement in our culture, so that we can have a more inclusive and diverse teams around the globe. So that is what my career graph has been like. At the end of the day, I'm the same one at heart, taking care of my family, my parents, and of course my Bayer team as well. I might not be meeting my parents all the time, but I'm surely connected with them. Once in 10 days, I make it a point to find out time, no matter however busy I am, and go and meet them. But otherwise, I'm always connected with them through phones. They are aging at this time. So you know that they require you more than now you require them. So, always be there for them. Make your presence and your affection felt by always, checking in with them. So checking in is a terminology that we learned around the lockdown time, wherein our global managers always once in a fortnight used to check with us as to how are we doing, how is our family doing, are we overwhelmed in handling our household as well as our office work, all sitting at home, a monotonous kind of a work, etc. So always do keep checking on your parents, on your elder relatives as well, because as I mentioned, they need you more than you need them at this point in time. Now we can move on to the next slide. I realize that I need to maybe increase my speed of talk. So social engagement, I already spoke about this. So I will maybe skip this slide and move on to the other slide. Okay, so talking about the International Women's Day, and I feel it's important that I speak at least a little about it. I've already spoken about inclusion, diversity, and it all is very important in celebrating this day today somewhere. I would like to state that let not just 8th of March be a Women's Day. Let all the days be Women's Day. And for the matter, let all the days be Men's Day as well. Okay? Because you should ideally be treating everybody around you equally in terms of the opportunities, in terms of your behavior. So that's one important message that I would like to leave with the students out here. Try to seek as much. The second message could be try to seek as much as diversity as possible. Because with diversity comes different perspectives. And when I say diversity, it's not just woman and man diversity. It's diversity with different cultures. It's diversity with different caste. Unfortunately, the caste still exists in India. So hence, I have to mention that as well. It's diversity across the different strata of the society as well. So try to seek as much diversity as possible in your teams, in your friend circle, and wherever you go. Okay. The last one, which I think I should also mention, is about empathy. So show empathy towards a woman and not pity. So when I say show empathy, is you would know that physically a woman is not the same as a man. Or even in terms of responsibilities, though we keep saying that the household is now as much as the responsibility of a man as much as a woman, but somewhere you know that a woman takes more care of the household versus a man. So be empathetic towards that factor and try to put yourself in the shoes of a woman and then behave accordingly. Okay. Now, finally, I would like to bring an end to the session by giving a few recommendations to the generations today, whoever, all the students who are listening to me. And I would call it as a recommendation because I know that Generation Z does not like to be told what is to be done. So I would just call it as a recommendation, which I have learned from my own experiences. So may I have the next slide, please? Okay, here we are already. Great. So the first one is definitely going to be around owning your journey. So own your journey, whatever it is, be responsible for your journey. Do not blame anybody else. Take decisions as to what you want to do, what your aspiration should be, of course, and take guidance from whoever possible, be it your parents, your seniors, your professors, and start work over it. Okay. If there is one opportunity that you have lost, don't keep crying over it. From my own experience, I will say, don't keep crying, have perseverance. Even if one opportunity is lost, you will find many more as well. So when people say that, is there a scope in a particular field? Is there a scope in a particular subject? I feel there is a scope in each and every subject or each and every field. It's just that how much you excel there is more important than anything else. Okay. We keep saying that there is saturation. The industry has reached saturation. Had the industry reached saturation, we wouldn't have seen so many entrepreneurs. Yeah, you must have seen Shark Tank. So of course, those who were successful. But even if you're not successful in your first go, keep trying. Perseverance is the key, and you will definitely find a way, and you will be successful. The next one would be prioritize your education, avoid distractions. This is very important. Now, when I talk to my professors, they keep saying that, the priorities of today's students have changed. They are forever distracted. They don't attend classes. Even if they are attending classes, they are not fully they do not fully concentrate on what's being taught. So that is something I would sincerely request you you students to stay away from. Stay away from distractions. These are your primitive years. Focus as much as possible on your education. Once you are successful, and once you are settled down, you always have a time to spend your time in other things as well. Other one would be do network with your seniors and your professors. It's important because they'll forever be there to guide you. And, with whoever professor you are comfortable with, ask the professor to be your mentor. And throughout your life, even in your professional, personal instances, wherever you feel, you can always go back to your mentors and ask them for guidance. And I'm sure they'll be very happy to help you out around it. Next one would be to not focus on your weakness. So, of course, you have to work on your weakness, but don't keep crying that, oh God, I have this weakness. Now, what am I going to do? I'll never be able to be successful. So focus on your strengths. Everybody does have strengths and weakness. Focus on your strengths and work on your weaknesses, okay, at the same time. The next one could be to nurture a hobby. So always have some or the other hobby to get back to whenever you are you feel that it's too monotonous, life has gone very monotonous. Always have a hobby to participate in, be it a sport, be it a music, be it traveling, be it reading, anything apart from your day-to-day activities. And the last of all could be to give back to the society. So this is probably my favorite one, but this is something that we should all strive to do, because we are lucky to be in the college to study what we are doing currently. Perhaps that's what we had always wanted. And there are many others who are not as privileged as we are. So always think of that strata of the society and try to give as much as whatever we can, not in terms of just money, not in terms of just food or shelter, but also in terms of your time. Okay. And while you're thinking about society, also think about nature. In the recent times, we have done a lot to Mother Earth. So it's our time to get back the greenery around us. So try to do in whatever ways you can to nurture the nature around us. So that was my last slide. And with this, I come towards the end of my session. Yes. So I take this opportunity to wish you all students out here a glorious future. And once again, thanks to the media, to the management to allow me in sharing my experiences. I hope that you found it helpful. And not the least, to all the women out here, again, wishing you a happy International Day today. And not just today, but every day. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I hope I'm sure that your inspirational journey means you step by step explain your journey from the graduation, how you moved on to industry, professional path. It surely will help to students. Just some few interactive session, a few minutes interactive session will be there. So those who wanted to interact with you. I will just open the session for the interaction. The students, those who want to ask the questions, those who want to share your thoughts with ma'am can raise your hands. Ma'am, just once, based on the theme, one just single question. Being a woman, did you face any problem during your professional career?
So I was very lucky in terms of my immediate managers who always supported me. And I was lucky to experience all the aspects. Like I once had a male manager, I also had a female manager. So not a direct experience with my managers. They have always been supportive. But yes, many experiences around your peers or, leadership management of some other teams. So there were many such instances. For example, if we were thinking of, a field visit. So there used to come many questions like, the field visit means you are visiting class A, B, C of the society. So class C is the rural area. So how will you be able to do it? You are a woman. Will you be able to do it? Or even in terms of, promotions, there used to be a few colleagues who used to say that, okay, be careful. It involves a lot of extra responsibility as well. Will you be able to do it, etc. But minor ones, never major ones, which could ever shunt me. And as I mentioned, thankfully, I've been lucky enough that my managers were supportive right from the beginning.
Yes. So any student from the participants would like to talk with ma'am? So you never face a gender biasness, practically speaking?
To some extent, yes, but not on a major basis. Yeah, nothing that came across my career. That much I must say. Yeah.
Yes, but nowadays I think that that is at least at a professional level, it has been some to some extent gender biasness has breakdown somewhere. It is now. Yeah. We are not.
Yes. So
because yes, we are also fortunate because in this institution that gender biasness is not there. So we are thinking that it won't happen with our students also afterwards. That's just we are hoping.
Yes. No, and on a college level, a gender biasness is even if it happens, it's on a lesser scale. It's actually when you are out in the industry, and it's not a decision that an organization takes. An organization is formed of different individuals. Most of the individuals may be open-minded, but there could be few who would be narrow-minded or would want to be male-dominated, etc. So it's on an individual to individual level. But thankfully, till now, I haven't faced any on a major scale. Yeah. So to the students, in case if they do not have any questions, but they still would want to be in touch with me, and on a one-on-one, they would want to ask me any questions. I had mentioned about my my details, my phone number, and my email ID. Feel free to contact me if they want to on a one-on-one basis as well.
Yes. Surely they will contact, because right now, with today's theme, we would like to share you to share your journey with us. But afterwards, we would like to hear from you about the regulatory affair journey.
Sure.
From juniors to how you move to head regulatory affairs, means the professional journey. We would like to with a specific topic on the regulatory affairs, because our students are also working on in BPharm syllabus itself. Their regulatory affairs are there, but up to little extent. And our PharmD students are there. These are involved from the second year onwards in the hospital. Okay. And they are having 1 year internship too. So in the last sixth year, they will be having 1 year complete internship. They will be involved in the clinical research. They are joining in the departments like clinical research, pharmacovigilance, then regulatory affairs is one of the choice for them. So we would surely like to listen from you regarding your regulatory affairs journey. But today's theme, because we want to listen from a successful woman, lady, So on the occasion of this International Women's Day, that's why we thought to call you and share your journey with us. That is the reason. But surely, ma'am, it's nice to hear from you about your journey, from your small step you explained. Mainly importantly, the life balance, what you mentioned, because girls are always worried about that.
Yeah.
That how to maintain that life balance, and means and parents too, means those who are studying here, and that too many people are from the rural area, so their parents may not understand how they are going to support. So I hope this, by listening this, at least girls can convince their parents, so they can maintain the life balance. They will be able to maintain the life balance, as well as the boys, those who are listening to you, they are well aware that yes, they have to support the woman in their life.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's very true. Means what you explained, it's very nice. Step by step you explained. That is very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, I think students, I have your mail ID, everything with me. So surely I will share with students. So whenever they will be having doubt, and we are taking that opportunity, or we are taking that liberty to message you again regarding this, your professional journey.
Sure.
Regarding regulatory affairs journey.
And I had mentioned this earlier as well. I'll be most glad to be a part of that as well. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Our principal sir will be joined within a second, ma'am. Here he just disconnected. I think in between he just connected due to examination.
No worries.
Yes, right now examinations are also going on. So
okay, all the best for all the students out there.
Yes, final year exams are going on, final semester examination. So sir, I think sir disconnected because of that. So he will be joining. Ma'am, one more thing we wanted to know regarding this regulatory affairs. I will just give you a brief about introduction about the PharmaD course. Our B.Pharma students are, we know that they are eligible to join, but PharmaD course is there, which is involved it's a combination of B.Pharma and then they will be joining hospital clinical pharmacist. Actually, the course is related to syllabus is based on the medical pharmacy combination of all these things. So how we can make them to join in the regulatory affairs? Is there any scope? Means have you heard about any, or have you come across any resume which is regarding to PharmaD?
No. So see, in my case, to answer, to give a crisp answer, Vishakha ma'am, I haven't come across PharmaD, because I think PharmaD also, there are very few colleges which offers this course. I have come across a lot of resume of B.Pharm and M.Pharm who, hello?
Yes, ma'am, we are able to hear you.
Yes, who have, who does apply, but restricted to B.Pharm and M.Pharm. So I haven't come across PharmaD. So what would help me, to see what exactly comes in their syllabus? Okay. So, so that we could also take a call on that. Now, having said that, see, I am a student who has done MSc in microbiology and postgraduate diploma in clinical research. For a regulatory affairs, the preferred qualification is M.Pharm. In today's world, it's M.Pharm. Earlier, it used to be B.Pharm as well. However, it depends upon what more information you have about the industry and how you present yourself during the interview, that you can get selected. But definitely to the M.Pharmacy students or B.Pharmacy students for that.
Okay, but we'll surely would like to I will share with you the syllabus and content, because they will be we are thinking that they will be having chance, because many people are interested.
Yeah.
So also includes that one.
Yeah, so from my own experience, I wanted to say that, if somebody from a MS microbiology could get into it, wherein mostly only pharmacy students are preferred, then I'm sure that somebody from PharmaD would definitely be able to get into.
Because about B.Pharma and M.Pharma, we are also having M.Pharma course. So that students, we are sure we are having the placements for them. We'd like to share with you that syllabus and everything. So we can take a call from your side.
Yeah, why not? Definitely.
Yes. Sir is joined, madam. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Principal sir has joined. Actually, some technical issues going on today. Generally, it will not be there. Yes, Principal sir, are you able to hear, sir?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So I request you to address the gathering and conclude the webinar, sir.
So on behalf of the management, I thank the today's speaker, Mrs. Martina Gomes, for sharing their own experiences so that coming students may make use of their in their career. So really in this August day, so all our students and faculty members are fortunate to have such a speech from you, madam. Really many of the students will be enlightened by your words. And it's our industry career, how it starts and how it can be and how it goes. And in each stage, how you should take it in a challenging way. You have expressed very well. So on behalf of all the faculty members, teachers, and students and the management, I thank you for wholeheartedly for sharing your valuable experience. And on behalf of the all of us, we request you to kindly accept this virtual memento.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Principal Sir to present a small memento appreciation towards Madam. So, Madam.
So Mrs. Martina Gomes, kindly accept this virtual memento as a token of our appreciation. And really, we are very happy and hope if time permits, you can come to our campus and we can have one physical webinar also, visual seminar also, so that our students will be motivated in the career towards the pharma industry. And hope in this International Women's Day, all women especially must be motivated by seeing your career. So thank you for coming and sharing your valuable experience. Thank you, madam.
Thanks a lot, sir. It's all my it's all my pleasure, as I mentioned. And thanks a lot for your good words.
Okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation, delivering a very detailed and motivating speech. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good day and have a happy International Women's Day.
International Women's Day as well. Yeah. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Sir, you can hear me.